In this series, we're going to go over the best value SAV BMW makes if you want a traditional SUV. BMW of Wesley Chapel gives us the 2023 BMW X5 M50i in Alpine White. And I'm going to go over some of the competition like Audi, Porsche, and Mercedes. We're going to take you through a tour of the interior and for our test drive to show you the performance numbers on that 0 to 60 and all the updates the X5 has for the year. I'm Anthony from Hawkeye Rides. I'm going to go over all the specs and details starting now. The BMW X5 M50i has the same dominant stance as a M, except you're not getting that in the grille. This is an active kidney grille with the satin aluminum all around it, and it flares into your adaptive LED headlamps, BMW laser. On the lower, you're gonna get the gloss black with the satin aluminum, your front parking sensors, a 360-degree reverse camera. With the weight distribution at 50.8, 49.2, the M is 0.1 difference off. So that tells you what you get with dynamics, and this is the best in class, comparing it to Mercedes, Audi, and Porsche. 22-inch M wheels with M Sport brakes with blue calipers. You get a 4-piston in the front. The rear will have a single piston floating configuration. The front disc reading at 14.7 inches or 374 millimeters. The rear at 14.6 or 376 millimeters. Dynamic stability control, dynamic damper control, M Sport differential, a double wishbone front suspension, lightweight multi-link integral rear suspension, adaptive M suspension with electronically controlled dampers. X-Drive is your all-wheel drive. A length at 194.3 with a wheelbase at 117.1 inches. Gloss black is going to cover everything on the side except for the side vent with the satin aluminum and the matte black in the interior. The Porsche Cayenne E-Hybrid will be the shortest in length in the comparison, but this one is going to look a lot more athletic, especially on the side sills, because we get the shadow line trim, we get the upgraded brakes, and if you wanted to really go more performance, you get the M, you get 6 pistons in the front instead of the 4-piston setup. It's going to be larger brakes, and you'll have the stopping with the performance that can increase up to 617 horsepower. More traditional SUV, if you want the coupe, you go to the X6. You go for Mercedes, you're gonna go to the GLE 53 coupe, and you're gonna have the same type of stance. However, this is going to back more performance, LED tail lamps. This is going to tow up to 7,200 pounds with the X5. When you start getting into the M50 or the M, it will drop that towing and it will be the least in class. Power liftgate going inside to 33.9 cubic feet of storage. You have a 12-volt right here. Underneath the floor, you'll have your spare tire. Split fold the rear bench. Increase in cargo to 72.3 cubic feet. This is a twin turbo V8. We need to go inside, start it up so you can hear that exhaust note. Twin turbo V8. That's what you're getting with the exhaust note with this bad boy. Performance, that's what it's going to escalate to, and they back that with a 4.4 liter BMW M twin power turbo V8, producing 523 horsepower and 553 pound-feet of torque. That's paired to an 8-speed sport automatic transmission, achieving 16 to 22 mpgs, reaching 60 at 4.1 seconds at top speed, 155 miles per hour, with a quarter mile around 12.5 seconds. And what do these numbers equivalent to Well, this is going to be one of the fastest variants when you're looking at price point. Now, obviously, the Audi SQ8 can be a touch faster, and you will get 500 horsepower underneath that. But if you go into the Porsche Cayenne E Hybrid, you're not going to get the same 0 to 60s. This is going to be faster. It's going to be faster than the Mercedes-AMG GLE 53. You would have to option a Porsche Turbo, which starts around $115,000. And at that point, the 0 to 60 is around 3.9 with the Chrono package. You might as well get the M, and you're going to beat it and save about $10,000 to $15,000. If you go into the Audi RSQ8, the same thing. All those variants are going to be over $100,000, in which you might as well just option the M. Savings of over $30,000 and performance that beats vehicles that's over $100,000. Let me know in the comments what you think about the 2023 BMW X5 m50i as we go inside, go over the tech, and take this for our drive. Entering inside the BMW X5 m50i, you're going to receive 40.8 inches of headroom, 39.8 inches of legroom. Inside, you're gonna get 20-way power seat adjustments. They're heated, they're ventilated. You get the diamond stitch. The dashboard gets this sense of tech on the top, so it's going to be more durable than a leather wrap. You get a heads-up display, satin aluminum around all of your air vents with the carbon fiber interior underneath. 12.3-inch touchscreen with navigation. You got the pinch. We have the swipe. Click that home button here so you can see all the apps in which we have: Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, Sirius XM, AM, FM, streaming, Bluetooth audio. Here you can configure your driver's seat and passenger for the armrest heating. You can also do so by the buttons underneath with your dual climate control settings. Switching to reverse, we have a 360-degree reverse camera, full trajectory, automatic parking, and backup assist. When you click onto this car icon, you have your 3D view, which you click onto the icons like always. When you click back here, you have the car wash that shows the trajectory in the front of the vehicle. Working underneath, the carbon fiber inlays open up to a wireless charging pad, USB, and a 12-volt between the cup holders. More carbon fiber around your glass. X5 for the gear lever and your iDrive. Going inside, you're going to receive another USB port, and it's a pretty deep storage, just a little shallow, a little bit more sporty for your elbows. M-Spec 3-spoke leather wrap steering wheel, multi-function with the paddle shifters, 12.3 professional digital gauge cluster, which you can change the whole layout by pushing it into the mode sections, or you can simply hit the BC button and it will change everything on the right side of the odometer. Going into your Harman Kardon sound system with more everyday materials on the top part. One touch up and down for the windows, memory for the driver, and you'll have your ambient lighting there with a large storage pocket. For the back seats, I'm at 38.7 inches of headroom, 37.4 inches of legroom. The seats are bolstered, so it's going to be a little bit more sport derived, but because this is not a coupe like the X6, I can fit without any issues, and I'm not losing about an inch of headroom or losing anything in the cargo. Dual climate control settings, heated rear seats, a storage tray with a 12-volt on the lower, air vents in the center with the gloss black and the satin aluminum. You will have a USB and a connection port right in here, with storage behind both of the front seats. The door panel receives your everyday materials, ambient lighting, one touch up and down for the windows, the contrast stitching, and the carbon fiber. A storage pocket that is long, it's just a little narrow. Sitting into the center, headroom is still no issue. Legroom, I'm kind of against the driver's seat in the position I'd be sitting, sharing feet because the floor is not completely flat. Shoulder and butt space also due to that because the seats are relatively wide enough in the bolstering. You sit up a little higher in the center, however, the way the seats are bolstered from the butt to the back, it actually makes it feel like this is a third seat. We have it in comfort to show you how it drives on a gravel road. It's not really off-roading, it's just a side area where I like to do some reviews, especially when you get highline vehicles like this, right in the $100,000 margin. But you can see it's a very smooth ride. You have upgraded wheels. It's M-Spec for your suspension. 523 horsepower, Sport Plus. Here we go. Otherwise, it's very smooth. You're gonna feel a little bit of the bumps, but It's not anything like a sedan, it's an SUV, and near 50-50 weight distribution is insane. It's only 0.1 off if you get the M, so that tells you what kind of savings you're getting when you get into an M50i. The same engine, it's just detuned. Obviously, if you want to make it the same performance, you can take it to aftermarket and boost up the horsepower. The torque is enough anyways. You got 553 pounds. The exhaust note is a symphony that comes inside. The sound damping is amazing. I mean, it is very quiet. It's not necessarily Audi quiet. So when you get into an SQ8, it's going to be a little bit more quiet. I mean, it's aggressive. Even at just a 2 to 3 RPM, you feel it all around. Now, there's some things I like and dislike, and that's what we're going to go over right now, starting off with what I like about the M50i. When you get into this 20-way power seat adjustment, that's no joke. When you get into Porsche, you're spending 100, 115, 150. You're not getting that at all. When you get into Audi, they do offer 22-way power adjustment, but again, the price is nearly $20,000 more, depending on features that you get, or if you wanted to get it spec'd out like this, it's going to be easy $15,000 to $20,000 savings. The Mercedes-Benz, you get a lot of seat adjustments, and you get power seat adjustments if you get into the 63S for the back seat, where here you do not. But just look at all the value, because all those cars I'm talking about is 100,000 plus. The second thing that I like about the vehicle is we have not received the new iX screens, and the reason why I like that is because we're not having to worry about paying for applications at the moment, and it's going to be a little bit harder to configure some of those applications because everything is not included in the infotainment screen. The last thing that I like is this is the best ground clearance of all the variants in which I've been talking about today, and you feel it inside. So you're not sacrificing when you go into performance, having to worry about going over speed bumps or any type of terrain in the sense of, oh man, I gotta go this way or that way. You have over 8 inches of clearance, and that's not the case when you get to Audi, Mercedes, or Porsche. And to see that 0 to 60 in the 4.1, I can see it without any issues. Probably in the higher 3 seconds even. You got 4 pistons in the front too, so your brakes are good. Like I was saying on the exterior, if you need more option, a full M, and you'll get 6 pistons in the front. I mean, just to show you the brakes, you will literally stop on a dime if you have to. 3 things that I dislike has to start off with the packages start escalating the price, in which at some point it almost gets to a M base model MSRP. The second thing that I dislike is the seat settings. When you touch them, it goes onto the infotainment screen, whether it's a passenger or driver. So if the passenger's playing with it and you're trying to make an exit, you're using navigation, it'll just take it off. Turn radius at more or less a stop point, and we're gonna put it into Sport Plus. About 2 lanes, let's rock and roll. You can see how it just hugs, and that's all derived to the weight distribution. The last thing that I dislike is folding the rear seats for your cargo. You have to do it in the back seat. You can't do it in the back electronically, and you can do this in some of the rivals. So just a few things to touch it up, but for the value, this is definitely a beast, because you're getting everything for an everyday drive and a sport drive all mixed in with an SAV. I'd like to thank BMW of Wesley Chapel for giving us this 2023 BMW X5 M50i for our car review. If you're already a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Hawkeye community. If not, I don't know what you're waiting for. Click the next video and the subscribe button. Check out the merchandise website and Instagram and everything we do here at Hawkeye Rides.